Coming up next, we have Luciana Scrutchen with Fashion and Science, a natural camaraderie, discovery of ephemeral and perennial imprints. Luciana?
So from what I've been told by family, I arrived at an appreciation and love of materiality and textiles at quite a young age, which is quite possibly innately prompted me to move into, or to look into venturing into different avenues to discover solutions for sustainable practices in fashion, sustainable practices across textile research and development, what it means, I would say, on a commercial side to what one might frame as a crafting side to textiles or sustainability, or one who not necessarily doesn't work in a commercial side of fashion. Of late, my current research has been working with subsistence communities in Alaska, working with gathering byproduct from some of the natural resources and or for some of the farmers, the natives who trap furs. Also looking at these materials from the biology, their performance, the material side of it, and then secondly, working with those materials to prototype new textiles, new dyes, new biological cultures, and different ways of looking at a fashion system with coping, applying these different types of materials together. In that work, along with partnering with several people alongside of this, I found that discovering that fashion as a system has a natural camaraderie with science. I find that both fields insist on a consistent learning cycle, of course, as some may know, of course, and they are constantly evolving, endlessly fickle, especially, I'll say, with the fashion side, because of the complexity and the mechanisms involved, not least of which, of course, politics certainly has its play, especially as we know within the context of fashion and play with fashion. As a tributary out of this research from Alaska, coupled with some of my partnerships and collaborations with colleagues in Lang, whom of which are scholars and have practice across quite a bit of areas of science, and partnering with local communities and community farmers, I've begun work to develop a sustainable cloth-making system that deals with the science of aquaponics farming, which cultivates a recirculating ecosystem of freshwater fish and fish waste that serve as a growth and food source for plants. So the fish waste, of course, the fish poop serves as food source for the plants to grow. My work in this area is taking a look at the bacterial byproduct, growing dye-based plants such as indigo or woad, growing fiber-based plants such as cotton or possibly linen, working with some of the bacteria from that fish waste and from the dye plants to color these materials and or to tan some of the skins from the fish waste as an alternative to leather or leather from animals that does not arrive from a byproduct. And looking at this to develop also a new system of textiles, a new system of looking at textile research and development, also keeping in mind what an economic growth might be in this particular area, what scalability might be in this area, and also looking at what the wearer, or from perspective of one who wears, who looks at clothing in particular ways, as we all look at clothing, how we dress in many different ways, looking at what does ephemeral and perennial actually mean when you're trying to look at it from a framework of sustainability. What's important? Is it important to the aesthetic of what you're wearing? Does it matter if you're working with something or wearing something in a context of organic that it actually fades or disappears over time? Or is it more important or more necessity that the life cycle of design is how you engage with the clothing and where it came from?